Before Alvin York became a legend, he was a man who did not want to fight. Before Alvin York became a legend, he was a man who did not want to fight. He came from the hills of Tennessee, a quiet place of farms, hard soil, and harder lives. York was poor, deeply religious, and shaped by a strict moral code. When the United States entered World War I in 1917, the war felt impossibly far away from his valley, a European conflict with names he could barely pronounce. But the draft reached even the most isolated corners of America. When York received his notice, it shattered him. He believed killing was a sin. He prayed, he argued, he wrestled with scripture and conscience. In camp, he was known as disciplined and dependable, but also conflicted. He was not a coward. He simply believed God did not want him to kill another man. The army nearly sent him home. Instead, his officers did something rare. They listened. They debated faith, duty, and responsibility with him late into the night. And eventually, Alvin York came to a conclusion of his own, not imposed by command, but reached internally. He believed that if his country had called him, then his duty was to serve. Not for glory, not for violence, but to protect the men beside him. By the fall of 1918, York was a corporal in the 82nd Division, fighting in the Meuse-Argonne Offensive, the largest and deadliest operation in American military history up to that point. The forest was a nightmare, dense woods, mud. Machine guns hidden everywhere. German positions were layered, overlapping. And deadly. Entire units disappeared in minutes. The sound of artillery never stopped. Visibility was poor. Orders were confused. Fear was constant. On October 8, 1918, York's unit was tasked with silencing a series of German machine gun nests that were cutting down American advances. The mission was dangerous but simple. Move through the forest, flank the guns. Take them out. Nothing went as planned. As York and a small group moved forward, they were suddenly hit from multiple directions. Gunfire erupted. Men fell instantly. Officers were killed or wounded within seconds. What had been a coordinated maneuver collapsed into chaos when the firing slowed. Alvin York found himself in charge. Round him lay dead and wounded Americans. Ahead of him, German machine guns continued to fire, pinning down hundreds of U.S. troops. Retreat would mean more slaughter. Staying meant near certain death. York did not panic. He moved alone, using the terrain, trees, and folds in the ground. He advanced toward the enemy positions. When German soldiers rose to fire, he shot them one by one, deliberately, calmly, with the same precision he had learned hunting in the Tennessee hills. Then the Germans charged him. A bayonet assault, sudden and desperate. York dropped to his knees and fired, not wildly, not fast, but methodically. Each shot counted. Each man fell. The charge stopped. Silence. Followed, shaken, stunned. A German officer stood and called out. He offered surrender. York accepted. What happened next defied belief. One American soldier, alone, marched 130 German prisoners back through the forest along the way. He collected abandoned machine guns when he finally reached American lines. Officers assumed something was wrong. They thought it was a trick. It wasn't. Alvin York had silenced an entire enemy position almost by himself, captured over 100 soldiers, and reopened the advance. His actions saved countless American lives that day. York was promoted on the spot. He received the Medal of Honor, along with decorations from multiple allied nations. Newspapers called him a hero. America embraced him. Hollywood came calling, but York rejected fame. He returned home, built schools, helped his community, and lived quietly. He never glorified what he had done. He never spoke of hatred when asked how he did it. He always gave the same answer: "I just aimed to do my duty." Alvin York did not go to war seeking to kill. He went to protect others, and in one moment, under fire, alone, surrounded, an American farmer changed the course of a battle and earned his place in history, not by seeking greatness, but by answering the call when it mattered most.